Okay, welcome back. Now this is what we're trying to achieve. And you'll remember in the previous tutorial, we've adjusted our text headline, Stockton Heath, the little village with a big heart. We've reduced its size so that it fits in better. And we've also added in that photograph, the one with the drop shadow. And we finished up by adding in that photograph at the left-hand side down towards the bottom there. What we need to do is add in that text next to it, Stockton Heath Restaurant, and you'll notice all that junk filler text just to its right. That's what we're going to look at in this tutorial. So I'll go back over to Dreamweaver, and there is our photograph that we inserted in the previous tutorial, the one called Tom's One. Right, I'll place my cursor just after this photograph, and then I'll type in the headline, Stockton Heath Restaurants. And I'll hit the Enter key, so I move the cursor just below it. Okay, now that's the title we want here. However, we don't really want it down there at the bottom. We want that text to be positioned up towards the top and also moved away slightly from the photograph so that it's not butting up against it. Additionally, I want to add in some filler text. Remember what we saw a few moments ago? I want to add in some junk filler text that I will replace later on. Now, of course, what I could do is simply type in a load of junk. However, there is an extension available for you that allows you to add in junk filler text like this pretty much instantly, and better still, this extension is free. It's this one up here. Of course, you're not going to see it at the moment because you won't have it installed. But let me just click it first of all, and as soon as I do, this dialog box opens up. And you can see that this particular extension is called Lorem Ipsum Generator. Now, going back to what we did a few tutorials ago, when we were looking at Adobe Exchange, whereby we can get extensions, we can either do it from the website or we can do it internally here from Dreamweaver. And as a reminder, we went through this process back in Chapter 1, Lesson 8. You'll notice that this plugin is an MXP file, so you will have to convert it to a ZXP file in order to use it in the CC version of Dreamweaver. Which you'll remember, no doubt, this is easy enough to do from the Tools menu in Adobe Extension Manager CS6. And if you want to go directly to the manufacturer of this particular extension, well, there's the website address there. Or, alternatively, the way I did it, I simply found it within the Adobe Exchange. I used the search field and typed in Lorem Ipsum Generator. Okay, so as I say, it is a free extension. It's very simple. If I want to add in one paragraph or 2, 3, 4 or 5, then I need to choose that by using this drop-down arrow here. Well, for this example, I only need one paragraph, so I'll leave it set to 1, and then I'll simply select OK. And there we go. That saves us all the problem of typing in a load of junk. However, we do still have that problem, don't we? Whereby the heading here, Stockton Heath Restaurants, and all this junk text, well, this is positioned below the photograph. We want it to be positioned to the right of the photograph. Well, this is no problem. This is what we need to do. Select your photograph, and then down in your Properties panel, because the Properties panel is dynamic and reflects whatever it is you've selected, in this case, because it's a photograph, then the Properties panel changes to look like this. And we want to move across to where it says Class. Where this class field is at the moment, our photograph is set to Content. Well, we want to change this so that this photograph floats to the left, as it were, next to this text. Okay, now let me say that again. We want the photograph to float to the left of the text. And we do this simply by clicking on this drop reveal arrow here in the class field. And with the resulting dialog box here, just come up and choose either to float left or right. Now we want to float left, and therefore the abbreviated option we want is that one, FLT, LFT. FLT for float, LFT for left. So once I select that, our text immediately is placed to the right of our photograph. It's floating to the left of this area, this content area. Now, as it turns out, we have too much of this junk text, so I'm going to remove some. I'll left click towards the bottom here and just drag up, and all this highlighted section now I'm going to remove. And one way of doing this is simply by right clicking and running down to the option there, Cut. Okay, great stuff. We now have a more manageable amount of text. And once more, I want to save this, so I'll run up to File and down to Save. Right, that's us done then. Within this last couple of tutorials, we've added in some photographs, we've added in some junk text, we've styled our text, to a certain extent anyway, and we've seen how we can float a photograph to the left of the particular text that is running alongside it.